Painting from a photo is very useful in so many scenarios, whether you're trying to capture something that you wouldn't be able to otherwise in real life, to being able to take time with something for a very long extended period of time. However, there are also some real challenges from working with a photo, and so I wanted to talk with you about the reasons why you would want to work with a photo and how to troubleshoot problems and limitations that come with working with a photo. Okay, there are so many challenges in working with a photo that I'm going to have to split this up into a two-part series. The first half will be about composition, and then the second half will be about color. So today we're going to talk about composition. Here's the deal. Right now, we are just beginning a 10 painting series challenge together. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the last video that I just put out talks about it a little bit more. And so, but this is for anybody who wants to work from a photo. So if you are doing the 10 painting series challenge, or if you're just working on a series in general, this is the part of your process where you're doing research about images. So if you know that you're going to be working from photos, maybe you will have already gathered a bunch of photos that have the related imagery, and now you're trying to decide, now what? Let's look through some of the pros and cons of working with photos. Some advantages are you can capture narratives that would be so much more difficult or impossible to depict if setting up in person. Like, I don't know, a surfer. How would you do that from life? It would be really hard. It's convenient. You can do it anywhere, as opposed to working from life, which requires that you are in a certain time and place. You can take as much time as you need. Some people may disagree, but it might be easier to feel like you have accurately depicted something, whether it's because you're working using grids to match what you see square by square, or overlaying the original with the sketch. And these can help with confidence building. Just to be clear, I'm a huge proponent of working from life. I feel like there's no replacing drawing and painting something that you are looking at in person. But I think that there really are certain times when working from a photo is extremely useful. So let's talk about some of the challenges of working with a photo. The perspective can get skewed. The image might be a little bit flattened looking. You don't have a real sense of the dimensions. You might feel trapped by what you see. Don't see things from slightly the side, so maybe you're not quite sure what you're looking at. Or you might feel compelled to match it exactly because it's one rectangle to another rectangle. And so there might be a little bit more of a sense of being constricted in order to be accurate. The photo might not have quite what you need in the composition. I think one of my biggest problems working with photos is that idea of, here is the photo, here is my painting. And looking back and forth, there is this real temptation to be feeling like, does it match? And oh my goodness, if somebody else comes in and starts looking and they look back and forth, then they can't help themselves. They're looking for, it's kind of like those exercises when we were kids where you're looking at two images and you're trying to figure out which things have changed, like like how do these two photos not match? So people will be looking for the ways that it does not match, and they are not really looking at your painting, are they? They're playing that sort of kids game. And I've definitely had times when I'm trying to make a painting from a photo and I've showed it to a teacher and they see the original photo. And the thing is, they start looking at the photo and then they start looking at my painting, and I see the comparison game happening. And truly, if you want somebody to look at your painting, try not to let them see the original photo, because unless you're really truly trying to do photorealism as your practice, then looking at the original photo after, as you're trying to assess the painting is just going to get in your way of truly understanding if the painting is working. I want to talk about all of this because it's coming right around the time when a lot of us are working on these 10 painting series. One way that you can research images is collecting images that already exist either in your own collection, or if you're looking on Wikimedia Commons. And so now you're just working from things that you already have on hand. But there's also the opportunity to research your images by going around and taking photographs of your motif or your subject. And that can have some benefits because you might have the opportunity to take multiple shots of the same thing and then sort of composite them. If you have already collected your images and you're ready to get started, I have some tips for you if you're looking at your photos and just at this moment going, okay, now what? If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed by it, my best friend for those moments is tracing paper. Here's why I like tracing paper. This gives you a chance to investigate an image closely and see what is working in terms of lights and darks in the image. And it also gives you a chance to even alter some of what you see in the photo if you want to experiment with making the composition a little bit different. Starting out your drawing research by using tracing paper on a photo also might help you just take that little leap over the hurdle of intimidation getting started with the project. So it moves you in the direction of doing it. After you have done a few tracing paper studies, you may find yourself ready to go ahead and start drawing yourself. You have a better sense of your images. You sort of explored them already, and now that's sort of like a pre-step one in terms of making your drawing studies. Here are some of my favorite tips for working with photos that can help keep you with the painting in mind rather than getting stuck with the photo. You can collage different photos to create the single image. Within the image, if it's needed, you can invent new things to help with the composition. It's possible maybe you like everything in the photo, but you just need to change the position of something. And you can, after doing all of these things, use the tracing paper to make a notan. Or don't use tracing paper. Just notan sketches in general can help you break up the feeling of getting caught in the details and think more about what is the overall composition going to be. And if you have the overall composition really solidified in your mind and in your heart, then you might not feel so beholden to the details. Okay, so 10 painting series challenge. I wanted to give you an update because I have been in conversation with people in the comment section and it's unfolding more and more. So I feel like it would be so fun to have an actual, like a gallery opening. So we could do a YouTube live where we're all on there together, and then I will open up the website and I will open up our gallery, and then we can behold different paintings and people's work together. Does that sound fun to you? Like, tell me what you think in the comments, because I think that sounds really fun. And then what we could do is, I think I want to maybe communicate with you via an email group or something so that we can like check in with each other about the plan. And then that will give you a chance to say, I do want my gallery opened up during the YouTube live session, or I would prefer not to have it opened up during the YouTube live. I just would like to have it on the website. Or if you just want to show it to me and you don't want it on the website, then you can show it just to me. I just think it would be so fun to have this virtual gallery opening together. And so you would collect your own refreshments, perhaps a little cheese and grapes at your, at your desk, and then we'll open up images together and explore the gallery together. Also, a couple of people have been talking about the fact that they don't have a website or an online portfolio yet. And so in a separate video, I think I'm going to go through some options for cheap or free ways to display your artwork publicly online, whether it's as a shop or as just more like a gallery. And so that will be in a separate video. I'm doing research on that right now. So if you have any other thoughts about this collaborative project we are working on, feel free to put those in the comments. I am so excited about this. So just to remind you, our due date, our deadline that we're imposing on ourselves is April 3rd. That's a Thursday. And I have yet to determine what our gallery opening day will be, but it will have to be after that because I will need time to load your galleries onto the main gallery. Anyway, yay for that! And if you don't feel like this is the time when you want to share your gallery on this gallery, but you still want to participate in the challenge, that is absolutely wonderful and magnificent. This is just one opportunity where I'd like to give you a chance to show your work in a sort of magnified way, possibly, but it's not necessary to participate in this really cool thing we're doing. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.